Hello, I'm Christopher from Learnry. In this video, we'll be taking a look at some of the things to consider when choosing a server-side language or framework. So as a beginner, it can sometimes be very difficult when deciding on the server-side language or framework to use for your projects. And I know this because I also started as a beginner. So if you really want to know some of the things to consider when choosing a server-side language or framework, then watch this video to the end. So the first thing to consider is the ease of learning. Now this is arguably one of the most important parameters to decide which web framework is to be used. So if the programming language is difficult to learn, there is no point spending time on it. Today, developer time is more important than execution time for all practical purposes. Secondly, you want to look at the community support. So let's face it, we all struggle with bugs, we all face issues while writing programs, and we all look for support online at Stack Overflow and other forums. Now, if a particular programming language isn't well known and there is little community support available, it is better to stay away from it. So documentation is another thing to consider. Now, just like community support, it is essential that the programming language or framework has sufficient documentation available for the developers to learn and understand the nuances of it. Pricing is key when choosing a server-side language or framework, and this is because some tools or frameworks aren't free, and this might significantly affect the choice of an organization or an individual that is on low budget. Now, generally speaking, a large number of tech companies prefer to use open source tools and frameworks rather than using paid systems. However, enterprises like banks and insurance companies prefer to use paid systems. Again, you also want to consider library support. Now, if the programming language is widely used, there will be more developers who will be developing libraries for that particular programming language. And as a result, development using the language becomes more easier. The speed of the language or framework is also another deciding factor because server-side applications may require high tolerance capacity as well as low latency. Therefore, it is important to see which language is faster in terms of execution time. You should also look at the availability of web frameworks for the language because it is important that the programming language provides well-designed web development frameworks that are easy to use and can be used to develop powerful applications with little effort. Finally, you want to look out for debugging support. So the choice of programming language should also depend on the availability of debugging tools for that particular language. Now, lack of debugging tools means that the developers are going to spend more time debugging, which essentially isn't the most productive use of time. So this sums it up for this video, and if you have any concerns at all about this particular video, you can leave it in the comment section below. Now, if you are new to this channel and found this video helpful, then click on the subscribe button and the bell notification icon below so that you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next lesson.